I'm Kevin Gehl, voice of the Crusaders, and this is Sader Stories, the official podcast of Holy Cross Athletics, presented by UMass Memorial Health. Today, we continue our Crusader coaching profiles with the new head coach of volleyball here at Holy Cross, Matt Cribbin. Coach Cribbin joins Holy Cross after 13 years head coaching AIC in Springfield, Mass. He had a lot of success. Three-time Northeast 10 Coach of the Year with one of New England's most dominant D2 programs. Coach Cribbin, congrats on the new role here at Holy Cross, and thanks for joining us on Sader Stories.
Thank you very much. Really excited to be here. Love the segment. Been learning a lot about my fellow coaches here, and as well as a lot of the students, and just excited to be a part of the Crusaders.
I love hearing that. You're actually one of the second coaches we've heard, along with Coach Ladino, saying it's a great way to catch up, learn all about the athletic department, the other coaches. So I'm going to ask you our favorite first question for a new Crusader. What makes Holy Cross as a college and a volleyball program the right place for you?
I think, to put it very simply, it's an institution that people want to be a part of at any level. I think the students obviously want to come here for the world-class education. The employees want to be here for just the level of professionalism that everything is done around here. The campus itself is just a vibrant community. I actually love the city of Worcester. It's always been, one of my favorite places in Massachusetts. I lived here 10 years ago without any connection to Holy Cross. And so I just think the combination of all of those things is just really exciting. And then just knowing the potential that this institution has and the potential that the volleyball program has moving forward. It felt like the perfect move for me at this time. And I just was really excited to get in and become a part of it.
It's a great full circle moment. You officially joined Holy Cross back in December. How are you settling back into life here in Worcester?
I'm loving it. I've felt very supported here. Everybody, pops their head in the door and asks if I need anything and asks me, how to make the transition a little bit easier. I feel like there's at least 5 people for everything I need done. I can ask for help, and it just gives us the opportunity to be really efficient with our time and move forward and continue to do the next thing that the program needs. So I hate to be too optimistic, but it seems rather of a seamless transition. So I'm really enjoying that.
No, that's exactly what we love to hear. And I'm guessing one of the biggest changes from coaching in D2 to D1 is that level of support and personnel in the department, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think I will say I think my background in first D3 and then D2 has given me a lot of experience in all the different hats that people have to wear and all the different things that you have to do. But to see it elevated at a professional level higher and higher and higher is really exciting, because we can have a really quality production in everything we do, and we're not stressing people out too much, where you can really focus on a job and do it really well rather than just get it done. So having all of the support here at Holy Cross, it gives us the idea to continue to push the envelope and make it even bigger and even better every time. So that's been really exciting as well. And if I have a grand idea, I can be a dreamer sometimes. If I have an idea, I can go talk to some of the people and they're like, yeah, we can do that. We've got people for that. We've got a system in which we can do that. So that also gets me really excited, just being able to have a path towards really executing some of the grand dreams I have for this program.
When you first connected with Holy Cross Athletic Director Kit Hughes about this position, what were some of those grand dreams, some of the forward-looking vision that you shared about what Holy Cross volleyball could be?
Yeah, I want Holy Cross to be one of the premier volleyball programs, first in the Northeast, and then across the country, especially in the high academic realm. I want us competing not only for Patriot League titles, but you know, getting into the NCAA tournament and competing well there. And I feel like it's something that's very attainable, and really building off of the popularity of women's volleyball. We can we can draw here. There's tons of people who love volleyball in this area, and we can draw them to come to our gym and to pack it out and, get Hart as packed out as, it would on one of our great Patriot League basketball games, or the way the hockey program draws, this Saturday, go to that championship game. Sold out actually. So, I see no reason why women's volleyball can't be the same. We got to build it up, and that's been my vision. And Kit showed so much excitement in the way he sees the volleyball program growing as well. And that was a little bit contagious. So we kind of just were rolling off of one another's ideas, and the conversation just grew to be like, we can be something special here.
I know Kit is just full of positivity and excitement, energy. So, how did he first deliver the big news that you had earned your first D1 head coaching role?
Um, it was he actually called me the night of my interview after I drove home, and he said that they loved the vision that I had, and they wanted someone to come in and who's had demonstrated success and can help this program with just getting across that finish line and winning the matches. And um I was thrilled, and Amy Coleman was on the call as well, who's been really supportive through the entire process and is our sport oversight for women's volleyball. So they gave me the news, and I was like just thrilled because I was very excited after the interview and everything, and I thought I was going to have to sit on pins and needles for a little while, but they made the call right away, which was awesome, and it showed me a lot of commitment to me as a candidate. They didn't want to waste any time. They said I was the one they wanted, and that was a really great feeling. So it's nice to know that they were really aggressive in the way they wanted to try and get me in the door as quick as possible.
I love the quick turnaround. Clear proof that this was a great fit. And speaking of, let's take a quick break ourselves. When we get back, we'll talk with Matt Cribbin about his path to Holy Cross right here on Seder Stories.
We are UMass Memorial Health, and innovation is something that defines us, that drives us to discover new ways to provide answers and hope, to provide opportunity and access and equity for everyone, to redefine what medicine can do and how it can heal relentlessly.
Yeah.
Glad we got Jersey Mike's for the game.
Wait, does our mascot look like Danny DeVito to you?
Yeah, it does. That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's, where the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what they're all about.
You on the cheer squad?
And up see Daisy. Yeah!
Ooh.
Oh, don't worry about me. Focus on those subs. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Last year, Holy Cross Crusader fans made the second annual Coaches Roadshow a huge success. Good news, this May, it's back again, hitting the road with our head coaches and staff, making 3 stops: Boston, New York City, and Washington, D.C. Each roadshow stop will feature a panel of Holy Cross head coaches sharing program updates and insights on the upcoming 25-26 seasons. Space is limited, so be sure to register now by visiting goholycross.com/roadshow. Welcome back to Seder Stories, presented by UMass Memorial Health. I'm Kevin Gehl, voice of the Crusaders, joined by the new volleyball head coach here at Holy Cross, Matt Cribbin. Coach, you're a New England native from Madison, Connecticut. You graduated from the University of New England. How did volleyball become your passion and then a career path?
Yeah. So my family we're actually immigrants from Ireland. I'm the only one in my family born in the US. So volleyball seems like an odd selection. My dad was a professional soccer player for a while. I actually followed in his footsteps, played soccer, but while in high school, my oldest 2 brothers picked up volleyball, and it was a club team at the time, and my parents actually bought the very first uniforms for the high school to use, and they fell in love with it. They started playing. My oldest brother played at Wentworth. My second oldest brother went out to California, played beach forever. And of course, as you know, the youngest of the family, the little brother, looking up to him, wanted to be a part of it at all times. Um, my oldest brother actually took me to the beach one day when I was home sick from school, so he and his buddies could play volleyball instead of having to sit in the house and watch me. So he got me McDonald's that day, so that was, you know, a big treat. So anyway, I just kind of picked it up and started playing in high school as well. When I got to high school about 10 years later, still using the same uniforms, um, which was gross, but it was kind of a cool connection with, you know, my older siblings. Um, didn't have you know, coaches for the first couple of years. We had to get, you know, one of our school security guards who, you know, volunteered his time, and so thankful to him for us to have a team. And then finally when I got to college, I was actually going to college to play soccer as well, but we also had a club team, and you know, given my passion for the game, I wanted to keep doing that, and I had some experience, so I kind of started coaching the guys in the club team, and being the president of the club and organizing the practices, and you know, doing everything that you got to do as a you know, school club president. Um, and then I got approached and asked to coach a juniors team while I was at school, and so I started doing that, and I just really liked it.
Mhm.
Shortly after graduating college, I moved out to Los Angeles with my brother. Got to play on the beach for a while. It was great. I was living the dream. Um, but you know, eventually you got to enter the workforce and, you know, get a career going. And something I was just always kind of pretty decent at and really found a passion in is college athletics and sports and coaching. So started looking around and found a job at Sarah Lawrence College in Bronxville, New York. Now an NCAA D3 school, but actually at the time wasn't even part of the NCAA. Um, and applied and got the job, and it was a little bit closer to home. It was only about an hour and a half drive from where my parents were and everything, so it kind of fit. And I got the job and just kind of thrown into the deep end there and did my best, whatever I could, and was there for 3 years, and then eventually got the job at AIC where I was there for the past 13 years, and it kind of just kept evolving and blossoming. And I consider myself a lifelong learner, so I would always reach out to different coaches, find new different ways for professional development, go to convention. I went and did volleyball camps at the University of Texas for a few years, got to learn from some amazing coaches there. Tanya Johnson, the head coach at LSU, Salima Rockwell, the head coach at Notre Dame, obviously Jared Elliott at Texas, Eric Sullivan, who's now our women's national team head coach. All of them just being part of it and being just such great people to share their wisdom and their knowledge of the game and everything. So I just felt like, hey, I'll just be a sponge and I'll absorb everything I possibly can. Um, and it just became something that I never really wanted to go away from. It was like coaching volleyball is the calling, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
It's clear that all that tinkering, all that seeking out of great information really paid off at AIC. You picked up a win over Lemoyne in the first round of the 2016 NCAA regionals. That was the first ever NCAA tournament win for the Yellow Jackets. I'd love to get an idea of how your time with that team helped propel the entire program for years to come, because your Yellow Jackets at that time became NCAA tournament mainstays.
Yeah, it was quite an experience. I don't think at the time we had any idea what we were actually accomplishing. You know, we had kind of turned the corner and started being pretty competitive in the NE10. Lemoyne actually won the NE10 that year. We were, I think, a tie for second. We had lost to them in a tough match. It was a weird circumstance. We had to go up to their gym, play like a 5 o'clock game, which is, you know, a far bus ride for us at the time. And their gym was being renovated, so we had to play at like a high school nearby, and we lost the game. And I was like, oh man, what a lost opportunity that was. And it turned out that they ended up winning the regular season that year. We went into the playoffs as the 2 seed. They lost their first round game, the 1-8 they lost. So we got to host the Final Four, and we're like, oh man, here's a chance for us to win the championship. And we got knocked out in the semifinal. We had to watch the final on our gym. And I think that really kind of like made something snap where like, okay, if we get another chance at this, we're going to make sure we make the most of it. And so we got the at-large selection into the NCAA tournament, and we went up to Damon to play that tournament with the chip on our shoulder, just saying, we're going to give everything we got. We're going to go out swinging. We're going to have no fear whatsoever. And we pulled it off. And I think it was the start of how we really learned that playing with confidence can be a really, really great weapon to have. And so we just kind of continued to grow, and we set a standard of excellence in our gym that was the mainstay for the next, like 8-9 years. And this is the level that we had to be at in order to achieve something special. And that's the only level that we're going to accept from now on. And the players who came in after the fact were so fortunate to have that standard and that foundation built by the players before them, that they just bought right in and continued to build that for the next group and the next group and the next group. And we found that it was really, really effective to have that foundation and that leadership come from the players. I like to, guide it in a certain way and what I'd like to see, but it was really player driven. And we were fortunate to have really great people to put that in the right direction.
So you wrap up your AIC career with 3 conference titles in the last 4 years. You say it's very player driven. So I'm guessing that begins with the players that you bring on campus. So as you try to recreate that AIC success here at Holy Cross, what are the first couple rungs of the ladder you have to climb to build that sort of culture here in Worcester?
The big piece that we want to add is the competitiveness. And that isn't just like the level of play, that's the mindset of being competitive and being okay with being competitive. Sometimes being labeled competitive is a slight. It's almost a dirty word, and we're learning to embrace that. So I think the big piece that I'm very excited about is that we have the nucleus of a culture that is very supportive and caring for one another. The women on the team are fantastic to one another. They are tight and stick together as good as any team I've ever had. What we want to do is we want to supplement that piece with the competitive nature that we can have. We can have healthy competition every single day and push each other to strive to that standard of excellence. And so I think that's the first rung of the ladder, that we want to introduce that. We want it to be okay to like really drive ourselves to the next level. And we want it to be okay to bring in players who thrive in those situations. And you really embrace that, hey, we're gonna push ourselves, and it's gonna be a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. And we'll support you while you're uncomfortable and while you're figuring it out. And you might have ups and downs, you might have errors, you might have, issues with like getting a little bit over the line in the competitive nature, and that's okay. We're here to bring you back. And that's why that really strong nucleus is important for us. So I think that's the big piece, is that competitive nature. And then we're just, we're going to ball out. We're going to have some fun with it.
I love that. Lots to look forward to next fall. Let's take one last break. When we return, we'll look to the bright future ahead for Holy Cross Volleyball with Matt Cribbin right here on Sader Stories.
Leadership and excellence in competition, in the classroom, in the community. For decades, Crusader Athletics has focused on our topmost commitment, elevating every student athlete to reach for more, to grow more, to achieve more. Help us to continue to strengthen minds, build character, and celebrate together as one Crusader Nation. Because when we commit together, we win together. Join us, Crusaders Together.
Many financial advisors are commission-based advisors that work for a bank. At Car Financial, we work for you. Our primary focus is helping our clients achieve their goals. You worked hard in your career. You've earned your retirement. Now let us show you how to make the most out of what you have. We're here to answer your investment, retirement, income tax, and estate planning questions. Through every stage of life, we're here for you. Call us at Car Financial Group today.
Crusader fans, grow your brand and get involved in the Worcester community. Holy Cross Athletics is looking for corporate sponsors for the 25-26 season, including everything from signage to game sponsorships to digital media. For more info on how you can become a corporate sponsor with Holy Cross Athletics, reach out to John Rourke. His email, John, John, at crusadersportsproperties.com. Coach, as you start building a new foundation for Holy Cross Volleyball, how valuable are your deep roots and New England ties in terms of recruiting and establishing your own brand with the Crusaders?
Yeah, I think it's really valuable as far as just generating a greater sense of involvement into the greater New England community, and the way volleyball is such a tight-knit group. I mean, not just being here, but living here in the past couple of years and playing a lot myself in the adult community, there's such a connection within all of these coaches and volleyball fans and, friends who now have daughters who are playing and things like that as I get older. I think it's really great for just drumming up the excitement. I've got a lot of support in the area of just people who want to be a part of, want to see us do well and be a part of, a fun ride and going to come to games and help drum it up. I've got former players who are now coaching high schools in the area who are, sending players or bringing their teams to come watch games. I've already gotten a few who have committed like, oh, send us your schedule for the fall, and we'll make sure the team gets there to watch some Division I volleyball at at a high level. So that's really, really important, and it helps us kind of spread the word. Holy Cross Volleyball is doing something special this year, and you guys should go watch, and it'll be a lot of fun. And then on top of that, we've seen volleyball in New England grow, and there's better players coming out every single year, and being able to tap into those connections and relationships helps put us a little bit ahead in the recruiting race. There are some great players who are right in our backyard who have in the past gone out to other schools, even schools in the Patriot League, and have battled against us. And now I think we lean a little bit more on the relationships and hopefully get them on our side. And we've got people coming in from nearby, and we have some women on the team who are local talents who are growing as players, and it's going to be really exciting to have their friends and family come and watch home games and see them and all the things that they've accomplished.
That's great to hear. We recently learned all the details about the new Mount St. James Collective. That's going to benefit student athletes all across Holy Cross. How will the new collective best support your Crusader volleyball team?
I think it gives us the opportunity to really establish volleyball as an exciting market. There's so many people. Volleyball is the #1 team sport for girls in high school right now. And the people who are supporting, sponsoring the Mount St. James Collective and everything, they have a market opportunity as well. And if you get into a market such as volleyball and you get into a team that is going to do something exciting this fall and be really successful and be committed to interacting with the community and the local high school level players, club level players, and even younger, you now have that exposure. And I think that's going to be great. And then the individual athletes get to create their own brand, and they get to start to develop their business acumen. They get to start developing their own sponsorships and marketing and understanding kind of how the entire world works, where, you do need a kind of a good amount of business savvy to continue to grow and whether it's your end game as far as what your career is, just understanding how that part of the world is working, I think is going to be valuable for the education as well.
It's the off season, but it's clear that the investment of energy and excitement for next year is already underway. So in your first season as a head coach, what are the conversations like with the players returning, the Crusaders who are going to help carry the torch to this next era? What are they telling you about what they want from this program?
We're all on the same page where we want something transformative. We want this fall to be unlike anything they've ever experienced. And they're not just saying the words, they're living the actions, which I think is very important for me, because talk is cheap. And I can say all the things that we want as well, but as long as we're living the actions, we're going to see the results. So good friend of mine, Charlie Sullivan, used to say, you take care of the roots so you can enjoy the fruits. And right now it's all about taking care of the roots. And so we can have what we're talking about in the fall. So the big piece is making sure that we are all in with every single detail that we need to do. And for the athletes, it's their nutrition, it's their sleep, it's the time in the weight room, it's the time in the practice gym, it's the extra time that they put in. For me and my coaching staff, it's all of those things. It's recruiting, it's setting up the visits, it's making sure that our schedule is set so that we're at peak performance during every single game. It's working with our strength and conditioning coach, Nick. It's working with our athletic trainer, Sam, and making sure that we are all on the same page. So we're not just getting 80, 90% out of these athletes every week. We're getting that full 100. And that transformative season won't happen without all that work right now. And even our committed incoming are on board with all of this. We've talked about how this is going to be a Holy Cross volleyball season that changes the history of Holy Cross volleyball.
Wow.
And we want that. We want that right away. And it's not take 2, 3 years, 4 years rebuilding. It is transformative year right now.
Huge expectations. And what an opportunity from those humble beginnings, you and your brothers just saying,
Yep.
Let's give volleyball a try. Now to head coach of a D1 program. I've got to ask, how much have you grown as a coach, and what are you most excited about for these first couple matches out of the gate next fall?
I don't know if I can put in words how much I've grown as a coach. I can only say I hope I continue to grow, because this game always changes. And as soon as you get comfortable with any part of it, you're falling behind. So I just hope I don't get too stubborn in my ways, and I can continue to want to adjust and be nimble and adjust with the way the world goes, the way the game goes, everything. So I can only hope for that much. As far as excitement for the games, I'm a big golfer. I love summer, so I get to play a lot, but I think this is one of the few times in my life I want to skip right over the summer and get to that fall season. I want those games. I'm itching for it. I really can't wait just to finally get that first game underway and just get right back into the swing of things.
It'll be here before you know it. Matt Cribbin, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations again on this great opportunity. And we'll look forward to seeing your team back in Blaney Gym next fall, just a couple months away.
Thank you.
And my thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll be back soon with another episode of Satyr Stories. Until then, tell your fellow Crusaders about Satyr Stories, available anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. I'm Kevin Gehl. Thanks for tuning in. Go Cross Go.